any line that is most deeply connected to the form principle, it's the third line. It is so clear to me that here is this great power. It's such an impressive power, this power of the third line. This incredible ability to be able to deal with the dilemmas and the hardships of life. And to fight one's way through it. And there's so many things about the third line that make it interesting. After all, it's the great line of materialism. It is about the material plane. And in that lies its secret in terms of its mystical potential. Remember what the pressure is, to see the interrelatedness of all things. And no other line has this capacity so profoundly as the third line. That is in beginning with an understanding of it in the design. This third line on the design side, there is this pressure to align oneself, attune oneself to all things. In the same way that the two as a vehicle is sensitive to, ready for, open for all the calls. The three, the magic of the three is that this is a vehicle that can be attuned to anything, to all things, to the connections between them. There is a profundity in that form. I always make a joke about threes, that things bump into them, and things do bump into them. And the fact of the matter is that they are attuned to all this. They are a link in the interconnectedness, interrelatedness of all things, and if it were not for the three, it would all fall apart. And there's a joke here. At least it is for me. When you think about the six, if the three is the mother, the six is the father, in the sense that the six, in its deep relationship, in resonance to color, is about light. And the darkness is in the three. And yet, when you think about the sixes, they can't find the light until they start in the darkness. They have to start in the darkness. They have their third line phase. They have to deal with the form. For me, when I look at the third line, at the design side, both my sons are 1-3s. And it's so clear to me what is this quality that's there. You can feel it. How, when we talk about the third line, it's lower trigram after all. We don't talk about it as something that is transpersonal, because it's not about one other. It is an attunement that's possible to everything. To truly, I don't know what language to use, to be in touch with the physical nature of being. The ability to be able to recognize when the form is not right. This attunement is at its heart. And I watch so carefully how this third line body has a way of connecting, affecting the other. How it can both be, there is a kind of helplessness in others when dealing with the third line body. You want to touch it. You want to have contact with it. There is some quality in it that says, this is connected to you. It's so interesting. And yet, boy, do they suffer, those martyrs, don't they? You know, with the mistake business and the trial and error business and the bonds made and broken business and all of that stuff. But this is all through the incorrectness of the vehicle. See, there's a transcendent vehicle that's possible. There is this perfected predisposition to be unique. You come into the world, you got a third line design. You were born to have this unique attunement to the world around you. It's like having a seventh sense, a feel for the world and others and connections. But it's not conscious, in the sense that it's not part of the mind. It's not the way the personality works. Most 1-3s don't realize, never realize with their first line personality that's lost in wondering about things that do not matter, that their vehicle is open to everything, and not simply open to it, but able to attune to it, to know its nature, to recognize it, to be one with it. All of the spiritual stuff that we can think of. But it's all in the form.